Anthony Scaramucci is the new communications director for the White House, and boy, he's not good at communications. He's a bull in a china shop. He's literally threatened to fire everyone, and at one point said, and I love this quote, "I'm more of a front stabbing person." Right? He doesn't like to backstab you, he likes to front stab you. Well, that's what he did last night. He sent out a tweet that said, "In light of the leak of my financial disclosure info, which is a felony, I will be contacting the FBI and the Justice Department, #swamp, at Reince45. What? Wait a minute. Why did you include Reince Priebus in that tweet? So, okay, let's just break this down. Number one, it is not a felony to leak his financial disclosure forms. He made that up. If you're the White House communications director and you're gonna tweet in public, just for a second, look up if it's true or not. These people are so grotesquely incompetent. Okay, number two, you're gonna accuse the White House chief of staff in your own administration of leaking against you and report him to the FBI? This is so unprecedented. Even Nixon's administration didn't do this stuff publicly. They did Watergate and all that stuff behind the scenes. They didn't come out and go, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fire you, Sessions. Oh yeah, you should step down. Oh yeah, the communications director says Reince Priebus should go." That's unbelievable. And if there was any sense of order, the boss, in this case Donald Trump, would come in and go, "What are you doing? What are you accusing the guy publicly? Are you nuts?" That's the White House chief of staff. That's arguably the second most important person in government, and that's part of my team. And you're saying we should report my own team to the FBI? And you're not even right. And second of all, the FBI and the Justice Department are removed from the White House. They are supposed to be separate. For example, if they need to investigate the White House, which is kind of where we are today. So you got that second part wrong too. Even if you thought it was the case, you can't direct, the White House cannot direct the FBI to investigate, in this case, the White House. This is so insane, it's insane. Ryan Lizza then tweets, "In case there's any ambiguity in his tweet, I can confirm that Scaramucci wants the FBI to investigate Reince for leaking." So Ryan Lizza apparently talked to Scaramucci, and he's like, "Yeah, of course, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I want that guy investigated." So there's no dispute over it anymore. Okay, and then did Reince Priebus leak? Well, that's a good question. It's not relevant because it's not a crime, and he couldn't report it to the FBI, and it's mental that he's doing it publicly instead of going behind the scenes and going, "Hey, Mr. President, we have a really dire situation here. I think your chief of staff might be the leaker." Well, you would handle it internally, you schmuck. Anyway, he didn't do any of that, but did Reince leak it? It turns out, no. The person who reported his financial disclosure forms from Politico wrote this tweet. Wow, she woke up late because this happened in the middle of the night. Of course, as usual. She says, "Wow, sorry I slept through all the fun. For whatever it's worth, Mr. Scaramucci's Form 278E is publicly available from Export-Import Bank. Just ask. That's all you have to do." And she followed up by saying, "My source for Scaramucci financials was Export-Import Bank, period." So it was not Reince Priebus who went and disclosed this. In fact, it turns out it's been public for 3 days. But the Trump administration is filled with schmucks. They never do their homework. What did I tell you about Trump from day one? His number one problem is not all the horrible things he's done. It's his incompetence. And Scaramucci and him have been friends for a long time because they look at each other and go, "Hey, you're just like me. You do the same hand motions, you do the same outrageous attacks in public which make no sense, and you also punch yourself in the face just like I do." So we're just seeing it in public. This is an amazing situation. After Scaramucci went to do so-called damage control on CNN the next morning, which made it way worse, which I'll give you just a sense of that in a sec, somebody else leaked to a reporter on Bloomberg who then went on right after Scaramucci and said, White House sources saying this interview was a car crash. So it's also not working to stop the leaks at all. And Scaramucci, of course, denies this. He goes, "Wrong, tweet was public notice to leakers that all senior administration officials are helping to end illegal leaks." and at Reince45. He's saying, no. I didn't include Reince Priebus in the tweet to say he did it. I was doing it because like, hey, we're all in this together. Then why did you delete it? He deleted the tweet. You delete the tweet if you think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Remember, this is the same guy who said earlier, I love this tweet. Earlier he tweeted when he first came on, full transparency, I'm deleting old tweets. What? No, that's the opposite of transparency. You delete them because you're embarrassed of them. So, God, he doesn't know anything, and he's the communications director, and no one has botched communications more than this. So let me go to.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. There's a little bit of context because there's another piece out in the New Yorker by Ryan Lizza, who we quoted because he was the first to start talking about the things that were happening within the administration. There was one thing he tweeted Wednesday night that was talking about a dinner in the White House. The First Lady, Trump, Hannity, and Bill Shine were all there, and also Scaramucci was there. This is what left him incensed about Priebus. This is what he thinks Priebus actually is leaking about, which led him to the whole full thing. And this is one quote, because this is the full article, 3 pages you have to read, that Lizza wrote, came out about an hour ago. One point when he's talking about how mad he is, he goes, Reince is a paranoid schizophrenic and a paranoiac. But he said a effing paranoid. Then he said, oh, Bill Shine's coming in. And he was like acting like he's Reince Priebus. He's telling all this to the reporter. Oh, Bill Shine's coming in. Let me leak the fucking thing and see if I can cockblock these people the way I cockblocked Scaramucci for 6 months. So he's mad about how from the beginning, Reince Priebus didn't want Scaramucci and he was fighting with Trump since they came in to keep Scaramucci from coming in. He brought him in, now he thinks he's mad, so he thinks he's leaking everything. Then it led to all things that happened on the CNN interview. He's mad at Priebus, he thinks he's the one.
So let's go to video 5 here. Let's give you a little sample of what happened on CNN this morning.
Reince Priebus's name is connected to this every time it comes out in the last 24 hours. Do you have concerns about him?
Can speak to you about that, and he can address that himself.
All right, okay? We will ask
people
him.
Know my history between me and Reince.
Yes.
Okay, I can speak for my own actions. He's going to need to speak for his own actions.
Wait a minute. If you are working with Reince, as you said in your later tweet, and there's no beef, why would you? He's got to speak for himself. People know our history. We do know your history. Your history is that you guys hate each other. You wanted his job. He made sure that you couldn't get into the White House, and now you're in open warfare. So that's basically him saying, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought Reince was the leaker. But you just said he wasn't the leaker. God, he's so dumb. Okay, I'm gonna go to videos 9 and 12 here too. Let's go to video 9 here and see how he follows that up.
If this is about dirty pool politics, should the FBI be involved in that?
I talked to Attorney General Sessions. He's on his way to El Salvador right now to talk about MS-13. It's a little early. I've got buddies of mine in the FBI that I'll be calling.
That's interesting timing.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting timing, okay? So he's basically saying, no, I don't care, man. I'm still going to the FBI. Even though I know now, I've been told that it's not the right thing to do. I'm gonna go to the FBI. And I'm beefing with Reince, so I presumably he's going to talk to them about that. You know what, let's go to video 4 too. Let's go to video 4 right now, because it gives you a sense of who he's directing this to.
And as you know from the Italian expression, the fish stinks from the head down. But I can tell you 2 fish that don't stink, okay? And that's me and the president.
And who does that leave? This is insane. So he just told you from the head down, chief of staff. I have never seen an administration where 2 officials are openly warring with one another, saying the other one should be fired. What a mess. This guy, Donald Trump, was supposed to be a great leader. So I know how to lead. Okay, I'm gonna get things done because I just tell them, oh, you do this and you do that, and everything's gonna be great. No, it's a mess, in his own words. It's a mess, we're not winning with this. Okay, but I will give Scaramucci this. He is living up to the first part of his name, Scar. And he does stab people from the front because he's doing it on national television to his own chief of staff. We have one last clip from Scaramucci here. This apparently was directed at Reince Priebus. Let's go to video 12.
Say hello to my little
tweet.
He said tweet. He said tweet. If you like the Young Turks, you'll love Young Turks membership. TYTnetwork.com/join.